thank you all. Can you hear all right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, first, thank you all so much for coming. I am really honored by your presence here today. And I want to especially thank our hosts for this beautiful location. Is Bill Glass out here? Is he inside in the kitchen? There's Bill back there. Y'all, this is Bill Glass's home. And I also really want to acknowledge Craig, because the two of them, when we said, would you guys like to host a gathering? We didn't even know it was going to be the kickoff. They immediately said, yes, we'll be happy to. And they've really done a fabulous job. They've kind of knocked themselves out. And I also want to thank everyone who donated food, drink, supplies, helped set things up. If you were part of that, would you please just raise your hand so we can acknowledge you? Anybody who helped and donated and helped out. Thank you all. And I especially want to acknowledge my great staff. If you haven't met yet, Kristen Fine is my campaign manager. Raise your hand high. And Ben Flynn at the table at the front is also on our staff. A special thanks to them. It's really fitting that we're launching my grassroots campaign for Travis County Commissioner for Precinct 2 in this location. And it's not just because Bill's house was recently on the garden tour and looks so fabulous. It's because this cluster of neighborhoods that forms Knockin', the North Austin Coalition of Neighborhoods, knows how to create grassroots power. From your show of force at the City Council Candidate Forum last year, to your work with APD to clean up drugs and prostitution in your areas, to your efforts to preserve your creeks and your green space, you guys know how to do grassroots right. You do a fabulous job. And I'm going to need all that grassroots effort in my campaign to be your next commissioner. But the truth is, you really shouldn't have to work that hard to have your elected officials listen to you. We need strong leaders who are public servants, not politicians, who will listen to the people and who will take action. And that's why I'm running for Travis County Commissioner. Thank you. As a 25-year resident of Austin, I've established myself as a proven reformer with a long track record of getting things done. I don't just talk about change, I go out and work for it. And I ask many of you to come along with. You know me from my work to preserve Barton Springs, my successful efforts to stop the sale of the electric utility in the 1990s, my passage of tough campaign finance reform laws at the city, and my strong opposition to unnecessary public tax subsidies, like the Marriott, which is in the paper again today. They failed to uphold their part of the bargain, and the city is finally asking them to give back the fees, the $3.8 million in fees that the city granted them. But I will bring the same determination and commitment to Travis County. Most people aren't even aware of county government, but it affects all our lives. Each year, the Commissioner's Court sets the tax rate, spends $800 million in revenue, and creates policies that affect over 1 million people, including 5,000 employees. It's heavily involved with protecting our environment and our quality of life. And our quality of life is threatened in many ways, not the least of which is our water crisis, caused by both drought and extreme heat. Unfortunately, we're not suffering from too much extreme heat this morning. We were a little bit worried about it. But nowhere in the job description for County Commissioner will you find a bullet that says, protect our water resources. And yet that's what we need our leaders to do. We must have a comprehensive approach to protect our dwindling water supply. Anyone been out to Lake Travis lately? If anyone's been out there recently, you know what we're talking about. We are in a water crisis. And I hate to break the news to some people, but hoping for rain is not a plan. We need a real plan to deal with our increasingly dry weather. I will push for greater water conservation, water reuse, and I'll work with all takers to pursue real solutions. We must also deal with the fact that Travis County faces a growing threat of wildfires, made worse by the drought. I'll go after federal grants to create the best disaster prevention and preparedness program in the nation. We have all the talent and skill in Travis County to design a model program, and we can both preserve our natural resources and keep our residents safe. Our county needs new and imaginative solutions to our worsening traffic problems, and I'll provide the leadership to pursue them. And finally, I'm running to reform a broken property tax system. It's put an undue burden on homeowners and small businesses. Anyone who's gotten a recent appraisal notice knows what I'm talking about. Residential property appraisals have more than doubled in the recent decade, and it's causing homeowners' tax bills to literally go through the roof. On my mayor's campaign, I lost track of the number of times people told me they were counting the number of years that they could continue living in their home before their property taxes would force them to sell and move out. This is wrong, this process is broken, and I will make it my business to fix it. Thank you. All we need to accomplish these things is someone to take the initiative. I stand ready to do that, and together we can make a difference in our communities. If you have time to volunteer even 1 hour a week, your help will make the difference. Look for the volunteers or at the checkout the table at the front. If you can contribute to the campaign, even if it's just $5, your help will make the difference. Together we can do this. And I thank you so much for coming, and I look forward to seeing you on the campaign. Thank you all.